Hi, everyone. Wanted to talk a little bit about how you would buy physical gold and silver if that's something that you were thinking about doing or wanted to do. And on my screen, I have a website called JM Bullion. And this is a site where you can actually purchase physical gold and silver. And there are many sites like this out there. If you just go out and Google or go to your favorite search engine and just look for where can I buy physical gold and silver, lots of different sites will show up. Um, and so this particular one I'm showing on the screen. So if you happen to be listening to this as a podcast episode, you might want to come to the YouTube channel and watch it. Okay, so a few things that I want to kind of give you some context for. So when you're looking on here, there's usually a menu somewhere across the top or down the side. It's usually across the top, and it will have different types of bullion up there. And so I'm hovering over gold right at the moment, and you can see that there's all kinds of fractional coins, fractional bars, full bar, big bars of gold. There are coins, actual currency coins. Um, because for instance, a gold round or a silver round is not actually currency. It's not something you could take to a store and use, to purchase something. Um, but there are gold and silver coins that are actual coinage of the United States. So you could actually use them if you wanted to. But the value of gold and silver today is such that you might not want to do that. There's also all kinds of different kinds of unique products that they have on here. Like they do have some jewelry, they have some bracelets. Um, there's all kinds of different themes and kind of unique gifts that you could buy off of here. Um, I've not ever done that, but that's just a personal preference of mine. Um, so I don't do that. One of the other things too that I want to show you, if I look under the silver tab and just hover over it, there's also, for the most part, when you're looking at a product, it's going to tell you that it's 99.999% pure or whatever. There will usually be a stamp on it that says that. Um, but like on silver, you can buy US silver coins that, have various silver content ratios, so there's 90%, 40%, and 35%. Right. So like when I was a kid, uh, half dollars and silver dollars were actual fully silver. I mean, 99.9 whatever percent. And I used to get those as gifts, from a grandparent used to give me those. Um, but they started changing that silver content till eventually there's no silver left in coins today. It's nickel and copper and whatever else, but something that's cheaper, right? Uh, but anyway, you could have those as part of your uh, collection as well, your investment collection. Um, so let's talk a little bit about pricing and kind of how this works, the price that you pay. So for example, on here, most any site is going to be showing a ticker somewhere on the page of what the current per ounce price is for gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. And so on here you can see that it's right up at the very top. So I have chosen to show you this 1 ounce American gold buffalo coin. And you will see that on here on the screen right now, the gold price on the market is right at $3,300 an ounce. Okay. Now this is a 1 ounce American gold buffalo coin, but the price, the cheapest price you can get it um, to buy in bulk is 3,451.04 as of this recording. Now, why is there such a big difference between 33 and 3,451.04? So part of this is you'll see on the screen here that there's bulk pricing. So that is the cheapest bulk price. And you'll see also that the cheapest price in all categories is if you pay by a bank transfer or a wire transfer. Okay, so they give you different options for payment. You'll pay more to pay by credit card, for example. But what is this difference between the 3451 and the 3300? So essentially, kind of down a little bit lower, and this doesn't show up on everything, but just know if the asking price is different than what the market price is, know that it's because there is a premium being applied to the purchase. Okay. So what is a premium? The premium is the amount that's going to be like the commission. Think of it as a commission for purchasing it, like, you know, buying options or buying stock through your broker or whatever, they charge a commission, right? And even if you look down a little bit further on the screen here, it will say, or it might say, it may not, but know that this is what it is. There's this little note down there that says as low as $151.99 per coin over spot. Okay. So if you take that 3451 and the 3300, that's approximately that 151.99 premium that's being applied. So be aware of those. Um, you know, so in the gold space, obviously gold premiums are much higher than silver premiums. You know, if you were to buy a bar of silver, um, the premium is going to usually be lower than what it is on gold, but just be aware that that exists, okay? Um, and for me, regardless of how I invest in gold and silver, if I do invest in it, I don't worry about the premium necessarily. Now, it does enter my decision making over time. I have decided um, to, go cheaper routes and everything. But, I don't have to buy a full ounce of gold anyway, you know. Um, so for instance, I'm hovering back over the gold menu item and I'm looking at this and going, okay, so there are fractional pieces of gold. And so you can buy a single gram of gold. So let's take a look at that for a moment, just so you can see what this looks like. And I'm pulling up just a random 1 gram bar. I'm looking at a 1 gram Volcambi bar, Valcambi, Volcambi bar. Okay. So this is $39.99 over spot. Okay. Now, in order to kind of get a frame of reference for this, you'd have to take that gold price per ounce, divide by, how many grams are in an ounce to kind of understand what the price of gold is per gram. And generally, right now, as of this recording, it's about 110-ish dollars, right? Which makes sense because 110 plus 39.99 or $40 is 150, right? So it's pretty close, and everything. But you can buy a single gram for about $150-ish, okay? A little bit more, a little bit less right now as of this recording. So that $39.99, that's just the cost of acquisition. It's like going out to a brokerage. It's a one-time cost. If I go out to a brokerage and buy stock, I'm paying a commission for that. So there you go. It's just the way it is. But this way, however many grams you have, you just keep track of the number of grams you have. What is the price per gram as it's going every day? Um, and you'll see that your value would change over time. Okay. Um, so this is kind of how you can at least kind of understand what you're looking at if you're thinking about possibly purchasing physical gold and silver, but you have to have a way of securing it and storing it. And so sometimes that prevents a lot of people from doing that sort of thing. Okay. So, depending on what kind of situation you have, you may or may not want to do this. Okay. And that's okay. That's up to you as you learn and everything, you know. Um, you might decide you want to have a little bit on hand, but not a whole lot. Now, if you did have some on hand, another way to think about this is, yeah, you could have coins, you could have rounds, you could have bars, you could have whatever, right? But let's say that you have a 1,000 kilogram bar of silver. That's a pretty heavy product. Okay. Um, it's not like you can carry that around real easily, especially if you have several of them. That's not going to work, right? Um, but there is a uh, product, like if you wanted to have a little bit of it on hand, you wanted it easily divisible, to where you could break it apart or something like that. There's a really interesting product that is in silver and in gold. And I'm going to show you this as a silver product. So I'm going to go over to the silver area and I'm going to go to, let's see. Actually, I'm just going to type it in the search box. So I'm looking up a 100 gram Volcombi bar. I'm typing in 100 gram Volcombi, VAL, V as in Victor, ALCAMBI. And I'm just going to search for that. And you'll see that there are gold bars and silver bars that are like this. For example, as of recording this, there is a 100 gram Volcombi gold bar, and the 100 gram silver Volcombi bar is out of stock. And you can always set a stock alert, to alert you if that's something you want to get. Uh, but actually, let me look at this 100 gram one, and you kind of see from the picture. But this is a better way of looking at it right here. You see that there's 100 grams of this, but it's perforated like a chocolate bar. And so if you needed to break off 1 gram or 5 grams, you could actually do that if you took it out of its packaging. You could break it apart and use a portion of this 100 gram Volcombi bar. It's still called a bar, but these 100 grams are actually, you can break them apart and everything if you needed to use that as a means of exchange or something like that. And these are fairly light and everything, and you could have a few of those. And it's easy to store it, easy to lock it up, easy to keep it away, and there's all kinds of different ways that you could, potentially, have like a safe in your floor or something like that, or, those kinds of things are all doable, So anyway, I wanted to bring that to your attention because that's kind of an interesting way of buying this stuff. Now, as you can see, 100 grams of, this Volcombi bar, that's a little over $11,000 right now. So you still, if you wanted to invest in gold, you could still do the smaller pieces like 5 grams, because over here you can see that there are, under the gram gold bars, there are 1 gram bars, 2 gram bars, 2.5 grams, 5 grams, 10 grams. So you've got all kinds of different um, sizes that you could choose from. All right. So I thought that might be helpful for being able to look around on websites, see what you think, look at those spot prices, those over spot prices, look at the different sizes, look and see what might be interesting to you, and then make your decision. I will also create another video about doing vaulted silver where you don't have to worry about the storage and all that, so that you can kind of see what the difference is and you can contrast and compare for yourself. And again, part of this is just buy a gram, see how you feel about it. Because until you buy a little bit, it doesn't have to be much, be just 1 gram um of silver or 1 gram of gold, and just see how you feel about it, because it's one to think about it intellectually, it's another thing to actually experience it. Okay. All right. So thanks so much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.